Welcome back, everybody. And now, you know what time it is. It's the end of the episode. It is now time for our picks of the week. We're going to start off with the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Philadelphia is favored by 1. I'm going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game, and here's why. Their defense has something to prove. They're playing one of the worst offensive lines in the league. And Carson Wentz is going to have a heyday against that Giants defense. Now, the Giants defense isn't so great. Not the Giants defense. The Eagles defense isn't so great either. But I think they're going to take care of business up front. And they're going to win this game outright. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Cincinnati Bengals. This is a 50-50 pick on the Yahoo Sports app. Cincinnati is favored by 1. I'm picking the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. I think the Steelers' run game is not as good as it has been, and I think it's an actual issue that will not be able to overcome the Bengals' defensive line, and I think the Bengals' defensive line will be fast and active. Plus, the key stat to pay attention to in this game, Antonio Brown, when he's being guarded by William Jackson III, 0-8 on targets. He's been targeted 8 times, has not caught a single pass while being covered by William Jackson III. I'm picking the Bengals to win this game. Tampa Bay versus the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons to win this game. They're favored by 2.5. Typically, when it comes down to picks, you look at the home spread. It's usually up 3 because they're at home. Right now, Atlanta's down by that. But I think Atlanta's going to score enough points to beat Tampa, and that both defenses are not playing well. And I think Jameis Winston's going to make tons of mistakes here in Atlanta. I'm going to give it to the Falcons. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Chargers pretty easily. It's even. Spread's even. And the Chargers look great. And they're going to win this game pretty easily. Seattle Seahawks versus the Oakland Raiders. I'm picking the Seahawks to win this game. This is in London. Seahawks are favored by 2.5. And here's why. The offense for the Seahawks is great, but the defense is also better. Russell Wilson's 10 touchdowns for 3 interceptions, whereas Derek Carr has thrown more. 7 touchdowns for 8 interceptions. Running game for the Seahawks is a bit iffy, but the passing game should be great. It's going to be a very interesting game for the Seahawks. It's going to be a very good game in London. Chicago Bears versus the Miami Falcons. Miami Falcons, God. The second time I've done this. Miami Dolphins. Chicago Bears are favored by 4. I agree with the spread. The Bears are going to win. Khalil Mack's going to wreak havoc on the Dolphins' offensive line. If you didn't see it last week against Cincinnati won with 2 defensive touchdowns. I'm giving this one to the Bears pretty easily. Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 11.5 points. We've seen this before where they've gone complacent and they've completely taken a team for granted. But this time I don't think they're going to do that. I think the Vikings will win this game, but it won't be by 11 points. Vikings win this game. Indianapolis Colts for the New York Jets. A snoozer. Jets are favored by 1. I'm going to give this one to the Colts. And here's why. I think Andrew Luck's going to brutalize this defense. Sam Darnold's going to try and do the same, but this defense in Indianapolis is not a slouch defense anymore. I'm picking the Colts to win this game. Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Redskins. This is an interesting game because I think both teams have a good running game. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Christian McCaffrey thus far, 63 attempts for 329 yards, 0 touchdowns. Alex Smith has played better at quarterback than Cam Newton has. Adrian Peterson is good. He's 3 touchdowns so far, but I think this comes down to a defensive battle. And in a defensive battle, in a home stadium, I'm going to give this to the Washington Redskins because I think this is a trap game for the Carolina Panthers. The Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. Again, an 11-point spread. I do not like the spread. I think the Buffalo Bills can mitigate a disaster, but I think the Houston Texans defense is way better than people give it credit for. J.J. Watt is back, everybody. He's back. I'm giving this one to the Houston Texans. Wrong game. Los Angeles Rams versus the Denver Broncos. Rams are favored by 7.5 points. I'm going to give this one to the Rams. And despite the fact that the defenses have not been playing well, and the Broncos defense has played better, the Rams offense is just unstoppable. Todd Gurley's going to run all over them. They hope to get Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp back. I'm going to give this one to the Los Angeles Rams. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be a very intense defensive battle. Jacksonville is favored by 3. I'm going to give this to Jacksonville because I think Blake Bortles is going to get out of his shell. He's going to try and do his best. Leonard Fournette looks like he's not going to play, but the Cowboys defense is good. But the Jaguars defense is better, and they have a better secondary. Dak will not be able to throw in this game. I'd be surprised if he gets 100 yards in this game with how bad he's been playing. Jacksonville Jaguars will win this game by double digits. Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. This game we saw last year, and I think this one favors home field. The Tennessee Titans are going to be really upset after losing to the Bills in Buffalo. Tennessee Titans are going to win this game. New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs, versus the New England Patriots. This is the game of the week. Which is interesting. It's not giving me a spread. This is going to be a very interesting game because New England's favored by 3, which is the home field. Last year, they lost 42-21. I think the Patriots are going to really try and keep this close. But I think Kansas City's... it's tough. I'm going to pick the Patriots because they're at home. Last game of the week. San Francisco 49ers, Monday Night Football versus Green Bay Packers. Like I said, ESPN's a snooze fest. I'm giving this one to the Packers, who are favored by 10.5, and here's why. Despite the fact this will be an offensive affair, I don't know exactly what the Packers are going to do, and I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's going to do with C.J. Beathard, but this will be a closer game than 11 points, which I think is what it is. It was 10.5, yeah, it'll be closer. So I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers for now. That may change. But Aaron Rodgers has thrown 10 touchdowns for 1 interception. I think this game's for the Packers. Easy. Well, that does it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of NFL Breakdown. Again, I'm going to try and get this thing going every week again. I just had a busy couple of weeks as far as school was concerned and life, basically. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this episode, like and comment. Like each video, please. And comment down in the description. Tell me what you think is going to happen this week, whether I'm right or wrong. I love your opinions. So comment. Tell me what you think. And subscribe to get more. We have a good season. We have a long season ahead of us. The trade deadline is coming up. And we will talk about that in a couple weeks because trades are going to start happening and players will be on new teams. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this weekend, enjoy football, and until next time, I'll see you in the next